Hello, my name is Simon. I've lived with depression, anxiety, and other mental health issues ever since I was a child. Probably the first time it was diagnosed was when I was 12, when I was taken to the doctors by my mum, and I had therapy of different kinds over the next decade, and I had hospital stays and various types of medication. Uh, but the irony is, I don't think I really accepted that I had mental health problems until I was about 25, and that's what I wanted to talk to you about today, was about self-acceptance and stigma around mental health, and how accepting that you have a mental health problem and that it's not a nothing to be ashamed of is a very big part of recovery. Because even though I understood that I wasn't well, or that I was unhappy, or the things I was suffering from, stopped me functioning in life, I never really understood that that was because of an illness. I always thought it was secretly because I wasn't strong enough or I wasn't good enough, and I made it about me, not about an illness. And I think a lot of people do this accidentally, also with a lot of the misinformation they're given in the media and in other places. Just when people talk about it in conversation, that it's still seen as some kind of weakness. And what the turning point for me really was when I had my last major breakdown, which was when I was 25. I just sort of shut down completely, and I always thought, oh, I was just an incredibly weak person, even though I was crying all day and all night, and I wasn't eating, I wasn't sleeping. I mean, these weren't typical behaviour of someone who was just a weak person or weak-willed. And um, I looked through. I did a lot of soul searching during that time when I was beginning to, get my bearings, and I realised that a lot of the diagnoses that was muted upon and talked about in notes and things led to people talking about emotionally unstable personality traits, or BPD, borderline personality disorder, as it's called in other places. And it clicked for me, not just because of the understanding the diagnosis, but also about how a diagnosis can help you recover. Because if you recognize the symptoms that you have, you can see how those reactions and those behavior patterns can be challenged in a positive way. And I never really understood that before, because I just thought, oh, I was just get crazy, or it was just it was just me, and it wasn't. And a lot of people negatively, when people try and say that mental health is just people not pulling their socks up, or they're just being indulgent in their own behaviour, it seems odd, because the whole point of having a diagnosis is a step towards recovery, and it's actually a very positive thing that will help you rather than detract from things. So that's all I really wanted to say, really. That it's a good thing to understand that mental health is something that we can all. It can happen to any of us. It's like breaking a leg. You've got to keep your mind healthy as well. You've got to keep your body healthy, and yeah.